It's about 6:18 and time now for What's Trending. A Polish soccer game had an unexpected intruder fall from the sky. It wasn't a bird or a plane or a flock of cicadas. The match had to be stopped after a parachutist, there he is, landed in the middle of the field on Sunday. The person shooting video seemed to be caught by surprise as the white parachute came down. It appeared the parachutist landed safely and no players were hurt. The man got some help to gather up his parachute and leave the pitch, but not before the referee, seeing humor in the delay, came over handing the intruder a yellow card, which I thought was hilarious. What a funny ending to this. And actually, it doesn't really tell the whole story here. I saw this circulating around the internet a few days ago, and that guy, I think his primary parachute failed him as he was coming down. So he had that. I think that was his second parachute. Thank goodness he had a backup, but he was, that definitely took him off course. And funny enough, landing right there in the middle of the soccer field. Glad no one was hurt, and glad that the referee saw some humor too in handing him the yellow card. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a little violation there in the game, right? But that was so funny when I just saw that. Even before we started, I saw that video, and he just swooped in. That threw me off, but it was really funny.
That's great.
Yeah, he stuck the landing there very good. You almost call it a sliding tackle, which is probably the good humor there in handing that yellow card there. But I also found some humor in this story just because they mentioned the cicadas have been going on. I'm like, hey, for once, it's not the cicadas causing the problems. Yeah,
especially I don't think that they're an issue in Poland either. But
yeah, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, we're just suffering over here. But anyway, speaking of things that are in the air or flying, I guess you could say, we're going to take a glimpse into the future. That was a bit cloudy yesterday morning, but not too far from where the Wright brothers built their first airplane. A new flying device was spotted in the sky. Despite the rain, a drone made a flight from a Kroger store and delivered a package about a mile away. It was the first ever commercial drone delivery of a grocery store purchase. Kroger is going to start making drone deliveries in Centerville, Ohio, where it'll learn how the technology works before rolling out the program to other parts of the country. The delivery was actually witnessed by descendants of the Wright brothers, which is really cool, and there are limits to what can be delivered. So for example, no eggs, because the drone box deliveries are not exactly gentle. Each drone can carry only 5 pounds. The technology will allow package delivery directly to the location of a customer's cell phone. For instance, customers, they can also order delivery of picnic supplies to a park, sunscreen to the beach, or condiments to a backyard cookout. And this is really interesting. I think this is a moment where we're just, embracing the fact that technology is way more ahead of us than I think we think, or at least for me. It's so cool, but y'all know, like, I'm so old-fashioned, so I get a little freaked out by it too. But I think it's really cool to see that. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine in a few years, this being like a regular thing? And I could see myself doing this. I feel like you always go to the store and you have a list, everything prepared.
Always forget that one thing.
Exactly, you miss that one or a couple of items that probably weighs a little less than 5 pounds. So, if I could get it to me in a pinch without having to travel back to the store, I think I would definitely utilize that. So maybe one day we'll be seeing drones flying around delivering things to people all over the place.
Yeah, but then what's the fun of not being able to go shopping anymore and then having all those shopping lists laying around, so that way once you're done with that shopping list, you can just do this and then pretty much just throw it out. Yeah, I mean, what's the fun of not having the old school shopping experience anymore? It's still kind of nice to get out and about.
Yeah.
I mean, drones, it's cool to see just what they can do now, but it's just so crazy to see how technology has advanced. An aerial video, though, speaking of drones, shot over Alaska, captured a unique Coast Guard rescue after 3 people and 2 dogs were swept away on the back of a giant inflatable flamingo. The group was celebrating a birthday with a relaxing float, which turned not so relaxing when heavy winds swept the raft out the Menasha Bay, trapping the group on some offshore rocks. The Coast Guard was called and airlifted the group to safety, making for definitely an unforgettable birthday adventure. And yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be there having some fun on that flamingo, and then when things turn rough there, it's great we have people like the Coast Guard there to come to the rescue whenever things like this happen.
Yeah, especially considering that there were a couple of dogs on that float, but I want to know where I can get a float that big too to handle multiple dogs and people at the same time. Sign me up. But yeah, definitely, I could see how that could turn bad. That big flamingo head probably acted like a sail, pulling that float out there. But glad that everyone's okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of those big floats out there, so
All right.
I think you can find that pretty easily.
I got to start looking.
And also, though, I would say this is probably my worst nightmare, just so you guys know, besides not liking bugs and also the cruise ship, because I'm terrified of pirates. This is definitely one of my worst nightmares. Just being stuck out in the middle of nowhere, that is so terrifying. But I'm really happy everybody was okay.
There's a lot of things that are apparently your worst nightmares, Sierra. But
I have a couple.
If you had to pick all... I thought you could only have one worst nightmare.
Look, I have a whole list, okay? We won't get into it today.
Okay, is it about a shopping list long?
Yes.
Okay, we'll visit that another time.